I have no idea. What the hell, Lang? I buy a water pump, brand new supposedly, and it dies after a week. My hair is another what the hell moment. Hey everybody, Bill Owen from MMPCTech.com and theModzu.com. How you doing? Admit it, you too have what the hell moments. It can be with family, friends, coworkers, or just out in public. There's idiocracy everywhere, 24/7, 365. Did you know that we do a Modzu podcast? Yes, we've been doing it since 2012. What the hell? I know, trust me. What we've done as a holiday treat for you over this holiday break is we've assembled all of our favorite what the hell moments from all the podcasts. And you can watch this video and listen to them all. I'm going to remove myself and there'll be a static image. So you'll probably just want to listen versus watching a static image. Otherwise, that would be another what the hell moment. Or you can go to themodzu.com. I'll put a link in the video description and you can either download the MP3, go to iTunes, or you can listen through your desktop through the site. And if you do iTunes, yeah, I know. Give us a rating, please. No one knows we really exist other than you. And by the way, since we don't really exist, and you may not exist, you're welcome to post your own what the hell in the comments. It's a very therapeutic thing to do, is just explain or describe a what the hell moment that you've had, or your classic what the hell moment, and maybe I'll read it in a hangout. So without further ado, here is the best of the Modzu podcast, What the Hell.
It's the Modzu
Best of What the Hell Special.
presented by MMPC Tech with E.E.L Ambiense and Overkill Bill Owen. Hey everybody, E.E.L here. I'm accompanied by Bill.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
We figured we would take this opportunity to kind of create a bookend to the podcast. Not that it's going away, we're just changing to a new format. We figured we just kind of not really lost focus on things. It's just there's a lot of little bits that we would like to have in the podcast, and we just never have enough time for it. So we're going to try to go back to basics on it and just have a select amount of segments, essentially. But we figured we would go back from the beginning of the podcast and listen to all the what the hells.
Because they're the favorite of everybody, right?
Yeah.
That's mine. And I think it's what we've been known for the most, is just when we kick back and we vent a little.
Absolutely. Yeah. And really, I mean, all of us out there, we have a what the hell moment at least once a day.
Oh, absolutely.
On average, I'd say.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. All right, let's just jump right into it. Monkey feet first. We're going to start with episode 1 and run all the way through to episode 26. This begins with the illustrious Cheapskate.
Oh, I don't have a computer-related what the hell.
That's okay.
But I have a pretty profound what the hell recently. I've went to the grocery store recently, and there was a large line in the produce section. And some middle-aged woman was going through the bananas, picking out one banana off each bundle. And it's like, so I guess my bitch would be, it's $1.40 to buy a bunch or something like that. Quit trying to pick out your potential husband and just buy a bunch of bananas.
And I love the relevance that the monkey is talking about bananas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's classic.
So Cheeps is insinuating that the woman is going to do something other than eat the banana when she gets home.
That's what I do. Oh, wait, no. Well, I mean, I would eat it, not use it for anything else. Like a doorstop.
Definition of eating it is, I guess.
All right. Moving on. This is Kyle from episode 2.
It's from a modding injury. I was busy going around with an X-Acto knife, wasn't really paying attention, and I've got a nice big gash in my finger. And my what the hell for this week is, how can something that small bleed so much?
You have a list of injuries from modding.
Oh, I have so many injuries from modding, it's not even funny. I think I've got 6 or 7 cuts on my hands at the moment just from today. I just don't pay attention when I should.
I think we should call you Calamity Kyle.
Nice.
The real thing is, I feel that if I can make sure something happens as I want it, but it involves injuring myself, I'm willing to do that. If it means that the saw will stay in a straight line, but it involves taking a chunk of skin off, I'm happy with that. So yeah, I've got this cut that's maybe a quarter of an inch long on my finger, and it bled for like an hour and a half.
Jeez, man.
Oh, man.
You know, Kyle has had so many accidents since I've known him that it's just become commonplace to hear about his latest accident, that it's just kind of gotten like, oh, he's had another one. It's okay. Anyways, what else is going on?
It's like, why is that the norm?
I don't know. But did you hear what he said in the beginning? He said, I was just going around with an X-Acto knife, not knowing what the hell I was doing. Is that what he said? It's like, who does that? What does that mean? He just walks around with his X-Acto knife out, just walking around casually with like no purpose for it, or
maybe he's a budding serial killer. I mean, we really don't know,
I don't get it. I mean, I think just about every episode there's been some mention of an accident happening.
Yeah, I think the best part is the whole Calamity Kyle thing kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's. I imagine he's had an accident already today.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Odds are.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. This is episode 4, and this is an E.E.L diatribe.
All right. I wouldn't really call it a what the hell kind of thing, but I keep seeing these photos passed around on Facebook that says what is or is not modding. You know these pictures. They have like a picture of a rotary tool and a cutoff wheel or a bending brake.
I would have CNC add that in there.
Yeah, and
I know someone who shared one of those a week ago.
It says modding, and then then it'll have a picture of a CNC or a laser bed, and then it'll say not modding.
Please.
I always laugh at these kinds of arguments because it's completely lopsided. So I wrote this little essay here that will state a different and more logical point of view. All right. Now, I'll use myself for this argument as an example. Being a graphic designer and a laser cutter, or used to be once upon a time before I lost access to my equipment, but I'm not going to refrain from using my capabilities. That's ridiculous. Being able to draw and illustrate is a unique ability, so tell me, why would I not use that? That's like asking a right-handed person to use his left instead, just because. So my biggest advice in modding is to use your strengths, not shy away from them. So you're saying that I'm not a modder because I didn't make a grill with my hands? But I did make it with my hands. I designed it. I drew the concept sketch with a pencil. Yes, a pencil. I scanned and finalized the design with proper knowledge and years of experience in the graphic design industry. And aside from my hands, I also used something I consider way more important: imagination. Honestly, I really think, aside from all the joking, that these kinds of arguments are really born out of jealousy more than anything else. Having access to these kinds of tools doesn't mean you'll be able to use them properly, too. You have to know how to use them. It's like asking a brain surgeon to switch places with a garbage man. Not a good idea. I'm betting the surgeon will be able to pick up the trash just fine, but I'm guessing the garbage man will have some trouble with the forceps, No offense intended to any waste technicians out there. Now, there's a distinct difference between hobbyists and pro modders. Hobbyists will drop 40 hours into a build over a 6-month period to get the build done. I've done it myself. We all have. Pros do what they need to do to streamline the production to that almost impossible deadline to get paid. There's a difference between labor of love and labor for paycheck. To put it into perspective, say you're being paid $1,000 for a build. If you took 40 hours to build it, you really didn't make much of anything on it, so what was the point? Time is money. I hate that saying, but it's, in this effed up world, that's how it works.
Yeah.
I've joked before about pros that don't do the actual work involved in the build other than actually assembling the final parts, into and onto the case. I won't name any names, but they're out there. I called them builders, not modders, or construction foremen. Putting new colorful cable sets into a from factory stock case with some rads installed in pre-made areas to fit them with the latest and greatest hardware isn't a mod. It's a build, guys. Now, Bill, for instance, who is a true pro, that I would say is completely hands-on in every aspect of the build process because he's a pro. Having seen him work firsthand, he's more like a machine. He keeps everything in line and working smoothly. So using your logic, because he didn't make that complex grill for the top of the case with his hands, he's not a modder either. Do you people have any idea how much time, effort, and knowledge goes into designing and manufacturing grills? Come on, give me a break. Go back to your stock 800Ds with your 360 rads in the top. Oh, wait, you can't. Someone else designed that case in a design program and it was manufactured in a plant somewhere. So you can't use that now if we're using your logic. So now you need to make a scratch build. Oh, wait, you can't do that either. The sheet metal you were going to use was made somewhere else by someone else. Well, time to grab your hard hat, flashlight, and a pickaxe. You need to mine some iron ore now. Oh, yeah. If you want to make something truly from scratch, I want to see you smelt base metals and make the material. You can't use
that sounds familiar.
Such as your rotary tool or hammer drill. Yeah, those were made by someone else in the design manufacturer too. So don't get me started on the computer components themselves, as well as the wiring. Seriously, I can poke holes in your argument like Swiss cheese and twist your logic against you all day. The bottom line is modders mod. Asking them to do anything else is like getting the planet to spin the other direction. Just shut up and mod. If you want to grow up and join the party and afford a little common respect for your fellow modders, regardless of their methods, we'll be over here tearing apart a case and trying to fit a Volkswagen inside it,
Wow. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Wow, dude. I forgot about you going off on that.
I think I was having a bad day that day, and I just happened to see that meme getting passed around, and I was like, I hate mother.
That. You in the beginning, you had me. I was starting to boil already over the topic, and whoever created it, if it just to get a reaction, they definitely succeeded. And while you were talking, I was picturing in the Charlie Brown Christmas special when Linus goes, "Lights, please," and then he walks onto the stage to describe the true meaning of Christmas. That was like you, dude. You were Linus.
I do own a security blanket, so I guess. All right. Let's move on to episode 5, Overkill Bill.
Oh, my, what the hell is another one I'm sure we can all relate to is these assholes that stop in the front of you when they're texting. Like you'll be in a store or something, just kind of walking behind somebody, and they'll just stop to send a text or read their text. There was 2 different incidences this week where one was I was in Home Depot, it was really crowded, and there's this woman pushing the shopping cart right in front of me. I couldn't get around her, and then she just stops abruptly to text somebody. And the other one was I was with my kids, and I was carrying the dog. We were going to go into PetSmart, and there's like a really busy parking lot, and there's this guy we're walking behind that's going in the front door. And before he gets up on the sidewalk, he stops to check his phone and text someone.
I remember that.
Be observant, people. Just stop. I don't mind people texting because it's such a huge thing that we're never going to change it. Just be observant of who's behind you and move before you look at your phone for anything.
You're actually asking other people to be considerate.
It's called spatial awareness, people.
Yeah. Dum. Oof. Oh, impromptu dry hump.
Yesterday I had a bunch of moo cows in a restaurant. They walked in the front door and just stopped there, 3 abreast, and they were all looking at their phones and looking at the ground. I actually had to walk up to them, because they cut me off and blocked me in. I actually had to walk up to them and snap my fingers in their face about waist high.
Nice.
Just right behind the phone. I was like, get out of the damn
You didn't have a cattle prod. Just.
That's the reason I don't conceal carry, because I just know I'll kill somebody. Oh, you might want to cut that part out.
Oh man,
I remember that day. I still remember that when we were going to the PetSmart place, and what's funny, it's not funny, it's sad, is that since then it's gotten worse.
oh yeah. I think everybody has a story along those lines. It's irritating. Or like in a grocery store, they're pushing the shopping cart and trying to text at the same time. And jeez,
Text about what? It's like, what do you want me to get? Should I get, unsugared or sugared cereal? It's like, what? No, I mean, what is it? Is it live stream shopping we're doing here? You Periscope your grocery list today or what? I don't fucking get it, man. I mean, but unfortunately, again, is that this is the future. We are living the future.
But what does he mean? Get the 2-ply, bitch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, moving on to episode 5, Cheapskate.
Jeeps, what the hell?
Oh, not modding related, of course, because I haven't been doing any modding. But this new house was put together by. We found out why it's cheap. So it was upgraded by what I can only refer to as somebody who saw a Home Depot ad, or maybe got a coupon. So when we got it, none of the doors actually closed. For some strange reason, all the door facings were readjusted, and it's like, I mean, they're not even square. I mean,
This is my place.
And then yesterday, my what the hell would be what I found yesterday, and I was putting in stuff, and I noticed none of the door frames are even touching the floor on one side. I can like the hallway wall, I can literally move it because none of the studs or anything are even tied into the floor.
Jeez.
You can actually put your fingers underneath them on the corners. It's scary as hell. I got some work to do.
You get that quite a lot here, but they at least put skirting boards down so you don't see it.
Yeah, but you'd think that the frame that holds the roof up would actually be, maybe built all the way down to the floor and actually touch it. Maybe a few nails into the concrete to keep it from wiggling.
Nah.
I'm like picturing these trapezoid-shaped doors that looks like it belongs in a Tim Burton film.
Oh man! And they bought Home Depot panel doors, with the panel recesses in them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like got a grid on it, so you can look at the door and say, "Wow, that's crooked."
Oh man,
Cheap's World is a strange and fascinating and terrible place too.
yeah. I swear he was describing my house.
Wow, was it built on a Friday afternoon?
Yeah, probably. Yep. All right, moving on to episode 6, Overkill Bill.
Oh.
I'll pull one from the archives. It's not a personal what the hell, but one that my wife went through about a week ago. It's pretty funny. And it relates to our 7-month-old beagle.
Oh, boy.
And anybody that has owned a beagle, known anybody that owns a beagle, is that they've got a head full of rocks. Because they like to eat rocks. I tell you. Luckily, she's so damn cute that it excuses her of all her crimes she commits. So my wife and daughter were going to take the dog to the dog park, and we live in a parkway system here in Minneapolis with a bunch of parks and lakes. And we have an SUV, an old Chev Blazer, and it's fairly tall off the ground. And my daughter's right in the back seat, and she's got Dixie on her lap. and Dixie's got a harness on because beagles are like sled dogs. They pull constantly, because they get a scent and they just start going. You're along for the ride when you own a beagle. And so they're driving along down this parkway, which is a 2-lane road, and there's traffic on it usually. And Abby puts her window down, and Dixie caught something in the air, and she decided to leap from her lap out the window while my wife is driving probably about 25 miles per hour. And she says, "Mom, Dixie jumped out the window!" Luckily, Dixie's got her harness on with a leash, and Abby is grappling with this leash. The wife, she can't stop right away. She looks in the rearview mirror in the passenger side and sees Dixie hanging like a trapeze artist alongside the truck.
Oh, God.
Freaks out.
That was a bad idea.
Pull her in! Luckily, my daughter could pull her in. Talk about a scary experience. But that's Dixie. That kind of crap happens all the time. I mean, it's just there could be what the hell is just with living with a beagle.
Have you found the secret pea spot yet? They all have one.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the funny thing is, whenever she meets new people, she's got a tinkle, She's got like, oh, yeah. If she really likes, she'll let loose. And what's funny is that, where was it? She it's like almost like she stores up, like she's got an extra reservoir of urine just meeting special people. Because you just took a piss a few minutes ago, and now you dump a puddle on somebody. So it's funny. It's like whenever we'd have to meet her in the grass over here. She's gonna let loose. Luckily, that's kind of tapered off, but so it could be anywhere she would do that. But no, one thing is we've got her trained pretty well at going potty. We have a command. It's like hurry up, and you start when they're puppies. You keep doing it, and as soon as they go, you're like, oh, good girl, give her a treat and all that, and then finally it sets in their thick skull. So, no.
How much paint was actually taken off the side of the car from her ears flapping up against it?
I know. Luckily, she had that harness on. Another thing is, harness is great because if you have to grab the dog up, you can just like a briefcase handle, swipe her right up with that harness.
That brought back memories, man. And things have not gotten much better.
Great. She still piddles and everything?
No, she doesn't piddle anymore, but the stupidity and I love beagles dearly. They're they are problem children. They take the short bus to school with the helmet on. It's true. And the thing is that beagles, they have a personality. And that's what you love about them so much. They have individual personalities, but they've got this. They're just programmed to go after something. That's what they're created for. They see a rabbit or any type of small animal, and that's what they do. And I admire that because they're purpose built that way. It's like a machine. Mm-hmm. But there's obligations and responsibilities that come along with that you have to live with. And my wife to this day still hates some of these things. And last night, and this is the thing about Dixie, because she's always looking for her scent. She will, if you let her into the rest of the house, because she's in the kitchen, she's penned in the kitchen in the hallway. And if you let her into the rest of the house, it has to be under supervision, especially if it's our basement, because she just goes for anything under shelves. She'll crawl under shelves and stuff to find old things, and she'll get hurt. She'll go under a shelf or a workbench and she can't get out because she's squatted so low. It's just this, and it's just being programmed to go after something, but not realize that there's repercussions for what you do. And so it's a weird ownership of an animal, and I know that not everybody, if a beagle, has to deal with this, but her particular breed, whoever her parents were kick-ass hunters, and I think that the breeder really wanted to have a badass hunting dog, and that's just part of her personality, and So it's crazy.
Too bad you can't upload a Roomba's firmware or something to her.
I know. Like get some type of software patch to mellow her out a bit, and like she's 4.5 years old and she still acts like a puppy. But I guess that's a good thing, is that she keeps active and she'll live long. But
yeah.
All
right. Moving on to episode 7, Calamity Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Right, my what the hell? Not tech related at all, but very much this week related. Why can't polishing shoes just be easy? Why? So I'm having to polish my shoes so that they're to a mirror shine, so you can see your face in the caps of the shoes. But no, you're sitting there polishing for like 3 hours. You're almost there, and then all of a sudden, because of the friction of you polishing, all the polish falls off.
What?
Birch could have gone blind.
I spent like 15 hours this week polishing my shoes, and they were only just good enough. It was miserable.
Let me get this straight. You don't use a car buffer?
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a separate bonnet for, like your car and a piece, one that you can just put the black shoe polish in.
Cheaps. I live in a country where everyone lives in apartments and tenements because we don't have any space at all.
Yeah.
The UK is, I'm pretty sure the UK is smaller than Texas.
Yeah, but Cheaps has made some extraordinary things in his bedroom, though. Think about that.
Yeah, that's the thing. You put on some old dirty clothes, you put those shoes on, and you climb into your shower stall and you buff them bitches out. And then later when you're done, you can clean the black stuff off your shower.
Yeah, but parade glass doesn't like water.
Parade gloss?
Who said run the shower while you were in there? Take your shoes off.
Oh, good. Kyle, you should explain why you had to polish your shoes to everybody, though.
So, on Sunday the 11th of 2012, 11th of November, it is Remembrance Day in the UK, which is where we remember all the soldiers that have been lost since World War I. And so, because I'm part of the Naval Reserve, we do a parade through the local area and then go to the service and at my university, so we do a parade round and then into the university cathedral to do a service which remembers the 1,000-odd university students that died in World War I and World War II. And so because of that, we all had to be top form with our uniforms, so I spent the week polishing shoes.
Would you rather polish shoes or get shot at?
Probably.
just putting it in perspective.
Or peeling.
I'm joining the Navy anyway. It's not like I'm going to really get shot at. I'm going to be sitting on a massive ship with missiles.
Totally. With your touchscreen controls. Just like the Prometheus ship.
They do have Xbox controllers on some of the ships.
Oh my God.
You never know.
Back in my day, we used to have to use math.
Who needs maths?
Oh God, I can't see somebody piloting a boat with an Xbox controller. No.
I just hope they charge it beforehand, because it's wireless.
Oh no! Right.
Shit! I forgot the combo for docking.
The ship was destroyed because of the red ring of death.
Oh my God, classic stuff.
That was great. Wow, Kyle, he's not in the Navy anymore, is he?
No, I think he's done with that as far as I know. He
served his sentence. Was let free.
Moving on to episode 8, Overkill Bill.
I have a grief with manufacturer reps, particularly case manufacturer reps. I dealt with 2 of them over the last couple of weeks, and we got on the subject of computer games, and both of them don't game, and I was curious as to why. I mean, not that it's out of the ordinary, but then I learned that they both really don't build their own PCs, and and so I was kind of, I didn't say anything. I was polite, but I walked away from that thinking, that's maybe part of the problem with some of these manufacturers is that you're taking on employees that maybe don't really understand our point of view on things. I mean, I worked for a manufacturer for lawnmowers for 13 years before I started my business, and what they would do is the marketing people, they'd bring them out to an area where they'd actually test the new products that were coming out that year. Like, we made snow throwers and lawnmowers. And I recall that we had this huge lot that'd be filled with snow, and they'd force all these people one day to get away from your desk and get outside and actually use the equipment that you're out there writing brochures or whatever on. And, that's not like really hardcore. Yeah, it's not really, they're not really enthusiasts, but at least they have a better understanding of the product. And so my point is what the hell, if you're in this industry and you're promoting and marketing it to people that buy these products and are passionate about these products, you would have a much better understanding and probably develop better strategies for reaching your market if you actually delve into, even just building a system once. Or if you're a manager of a company, consider making your employees, okay, you have an assignment over the next few months. I want you all to choose one of our cases from our line, and we'll supply you with all the hardware, and you can do the build here, or you can do it at home in your spare time. And then when you're done, I want you to hear your feedback on it. And so it really irritated me. And I think also, I'm such an enthusiast that I just feel things should be that way, but in reality, it's not. Yeah. So that's my what the hell.
So you want, not only am I the president, I'm also a member.
Exactly. That's what I want. Well, okay.
The hair club for men slant.
I hate to bring up the whole desktop is dying thing, but why not look at new ways to come up with marketing strategies? And maybe it could help by hiring people that actually maybe have some experience doing that in that hobby realm or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it too much to ask? I think that the companies that will take that approach, or there is some that do. Fractal Design, for one. I mean, we had Josh on the cast, and he used to build PCs and sell them in a gaming PC boutique of his own business. And I think he's got strategies that are awesome, that reach out to our community. Look at what you're missing, people. Just reinvest in your knowledge and experience on this stuff that, I don't know.
Wow.
Man.
That one is so true today, and even more so.
Yeah. Very relevant.
That's it's made me angry listening to it, because I'll say this: what I've experienced over 2016, quite an amazing year on so many levels for so many different things in our lives and culture. Is there was this just massive turnover of marketing people in this industry, of people have disappeared or they've gone to another company doing the same thing. There's just this revolving door of marketing people, and I'm not sitting where they are to understand what's going on with the politics and that. What I have gathered from where I'm sitting when I have dialogue with them is that the manufacturers, like the headquarters over in Taiwan, which dictate everything, they still don't understand how this market works in a lot of levels, and I think they don't understand the right type of people to hire, and they're not paying them enough money. I think what it boils down to is that they need to get more qualified. They need to have a better interview process, higher expectations for the people they hire, and pay them more money, and listen to them. Listen to them. They don't listen to their employees, which these marketing people, they are literally at ground zero running Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media channels they have. They're going to the shows, PAX, they're standing there at a booth and meeting people. And then when they give feedback about what the public says, headquarters they're not listening. I guess it's a cultural thing. It's some type of hierarchy cultural thing that, no, we know. I don't know, man. It drives me nuts.
It's the bureaucracy, I'm sure. It's, a lot of these larger companies, they're people that are at the top are just acting as armchair generals. They're not in the trenches, and they probably will never understand being in the trenches and all the little nuances that are involved with being successful in this industry. this industry is very fickle. I mean, as you know, things change on a whim.
But that's what I love about it too, though.
Yeah.
Is the constant change and pushing of boundaries. And I mean, as you know, I mean, we can barely keep up with new hardware that's coming out. I don't even bother to watch any of that anymore, as I can't. And so I just rely on my friends to kind of update me on what's going on.
It works too.
Yeah, and but I believe. Well, I mean, you can watch every facet of this industry casually, but you could also get seriously hardcore just about one aspect of it and enjoy it and have many different things to watch and talk about and discuss and all that, and that's what's great about it. But there's just this weird. I don't even know what to. I will still vouch for Fractal Design being unique in that they kind of do their own thing, and they surround themselves with people that work for the company that have a history or a real genuine interest in this industry before they even get hired. And at Fractal Design, Josh, for example. And I don't know when that particular cast was, but Josh has been there for years as their marketing guy, where all these other companies, it's all different faces, Other than Fantex is another example of a small company that were enthusiasts that are the same guys still. So it says a lot. And when you really listen to your people that you work with and hire great people, and make it a great job for them, because everyone wants to feel that they bring something to the table. They want to feel validated and liked and appreciated. And when you're not, it's like, why should I stay here anymore?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those two examples, Fractal Design and Fantex, not saying that there aren't other companies out there that are focused, but those two right there, they consistently knock out some excellent product. And I think it's directly tied to having people that have the passion to be able to push things forward.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Moving on to episode 8, Calamity Kyle.
Why did I have to use a disk drive? Like, you've all heard how much I hate disk drives for the last, I don't know how long. And this morning, I had to use a disk drive for the first time in about 4 years. What the hell?
Wait, you like a floppy drive, or?
Yeah, like A: format or something?
Optical drive, people.
Optical drive, CD.
I joined the computing stuff way after floppies.
It still sounds like that.
Your drink glass?
I just knocked the glass off my table.
I'm having a hot toddy.
So yeah, what the hell? Why did I have to use a disk drive? It sucked. Context for everyone, I killed my PC yesterday and so I had to reinstall it this morning. And because I didn't have enough time before the podcast to download an ISO to create a USB installer for Windows 7, I had to use a disk. What's all that? Oh, life sucks.
Oh, man. Kyle always harping on the optical drives.
Yeah.
He still does it.
He still does it today. Yep, he still does, and that will never be forgotten. But he was right in that the market has changed. I mean, now we get our OS on a flash drive.
Very
download
true.
it. Yeah. So he saw that coming. I mean, when's the last time you needed to use a disk?
Oh man, I can't recall. No, I don't think I've used anything, any optical media to install anything for a while. Yeah, I think I usually jump over to, the company's website and pull down a driver or, install package or what have you. Yeah, I don't think I bother with optical media either. Oh my God, I'm becoming Kyle.
Oh man, future
all right.
Kyle.
Yeah. All right, episode 9, Kyle again.
Mm-hmm.
I was busy cooking the other day. And I was busy peeling potatoes, and I managed to peel myself. I've never injured myself modding this badly.
This badly.
It actually happens, man. He's like, you really get into it. You start going.
Why is it red?
I don't have any fingers left.
I heard of red potatoes, but
So I
this is
took like
ridiculous.
half inch of skin off of my thumb. It's bled for like 2 days. And I've never injured myself that badly with jigsaws, hole saws, anything else.
No, yeah, he has. He's lying now.
We'll do that.
Kyle strikes again.
What the hell?
Kyle, I'm going to suggest that you stay away from cheese graters.
The number of fingertips I've lost to cheese graters is not
Oh,
pretty.
jeez. And if you do, wear a cup. What the hell? Oh, man. Oh, Kyle.
Okay, and this is a what the hell is he doing? What? I mean, is he on his phone while he's doing this stuff? Or
Who knows? It's Kyle, man. He's capable of accomplishing the impossible. All right. Episode 10. Cheapskate Monkey Butt.
iTunes. What the hell?
Oh my, you stole mine.
Yeah.
That was the other one I was going to go to.
iTunes 11. I have no idea what happens. I can't find anything anymore.
No, it's just
So lost.
it's the only reason I have it is because somebody gave me an iPod. That's the only, it's the only way you can get me to have an Apple product is somebody gave me their old iPod. But in order to use the damn thing, you have to load their software.
Right.
Is it a real iPod or an iPod Touch? That's real.
iPod
It's
Nano.
Generation 1 iPod.
Nice. I haven't seen one of them in years. Does it still have any battery life at all?
Yes.
Because mine died.
It's got a new battery in it.
Ah.
But why the hell does this software think that it can just turn itself on whenever it feels like it?
Because you chose that.
It's like, hey, here, sign this license agreement. It's like, what? Where the fuck did you come from? Get off of my computer.
What are you doing, Jeeps?
I was doing something, you son of a bitch. Get out of my face.
What are you doing,
it's like,
Jeeps?
Exactly. It's like, to call me. It's like,
Stop that,
don't
Jeeps.
call me anymore.
Don't try to disable me, Jeeps.
Oh, the best is when you disable the ridiculous things that it opens in startup. So there's the Bonjour service and the iTunes helper, and then it starts shouting at you because they're not open.
Exactly. I actually had to Control-Alt-Delete their little under the table shit that's running, their services that are running, before I could come on here and talk with you guys, because the last 2 times it kicked me off. It was iTunes.
Delete doesn't
like,
work, Jeeps. This is an Apple product.
Oh no, it's working fine.
You need Apple, or you need Command Shift Q.
Control Open Apple Reset.
I'm just turning off all of the, all the little services and shit that are running in the background.
It will shout at you a lot. I tried it.
Suddenly it works fine.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's got a point.
I can agree with that. In our house, we all have iPhones, and we do not plug our iPhone. We don't initiate iTunes when we plug into our PCs anymore. It's just it's gone. We either download your photos or videos from your phone, and that's it. It's iTunes hell. And I know that a lot of people listening do not like iTunes. The podcast is through iTunes. I do listen to podcasts through iTunes because it works out great. But just these little things that Apple forces you to do is just, yeah. I mean, and what's funny is, well, it's not funny, but just the other day, one of the YouTube comments that came up was in response to one of the custom PC builds I did, and the guy was like, basically, like, you should just throw this PC away, Apple rules, or something like that. And it's like, so when I see that, it's like, boy, what a sad life you have. I mean, living in Apple's 1984 realm, of just obey Apple on everything, but I will say this, though. I do believe in having your foot in both worlds is not a bad thing either.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, once upon a time, the only decent design platform was exclusively on Mac. I mean, that's what I learned on.
All schools still have Macs.
Yeah.
My kids all learn Macs and media and whatever classes have it's all Macs. And we've got this HP laptop that's starting to get old, get slow, and my daughter's like, "Well, Dad, you should get the MacBook Pro," and I'm like, no. I'll have Apple in my hand, in my pocket. It's great for video and listening to music and taking calls, checking my email. That's all I do on it. I haven't downloaded an app from the App Store in years.
And that's why it still runs smoothly.
It's exactly. You strip it down to the bare essentials, and it's great. It's great. It's reliable, but anything else, I don't get into it. I don't want the hassle in my life. Yeah.
Yeah. You basically describe marriage.
Yes. And E.E.L, what is the secret to a successful marriage?
Compromise.
Ooh, good answer. A one-word answer. Very well.
And using the phrase, "Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
You're right."
Just say yes. Just say yes, and it will be over with. If you want it to be over with, just say yes, and you can go back to what you were doing.
All right. Moving right along. Here is a clip from episode 11, the E.E.L. All right, here's a good one. Got an email forwarded to me from sales at work, and the email from the customer stated that, I'm just paraphrasing here, it said something about, this is my third order. I ordered this DDC top. I'm wondering why it will not fit on my D5 pump. Or something along those lines, and I was just completely speechless. I
don't want to live on this world anymore.
When I was drinking. Oh God!
If you don't know the difference between the two, you probably shouldn't be running water in that. I'm just saying. Just saying. That just sounds like a recipe for disaster. So.
Yeah. Definitely sounds. Yeah. No, I don't understand how people can be so thick. Just don't understand it.
I do.
Just takes a simple Google search. That's all. Yeah, the voice of reason there.
We were just saying this the other day. Everyone now has a pewter.
Yeah, pretty much. It's scary. Good Lord. It still to this day baffles me that people are going to try to delve into water cooling and they're not even going to try to, just do some research on the basics, maybe try to familiarize yourself with the parts or even the lingo. It fascinates me.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it either. I think they just see these gorgeous liquid-cooled builds, online, and I want to do that, and they just want to skip right to the build, and it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, there is a huge learning curve. Yes, it's just a simple loop. We use the term simple loop, but no, there's an art and a science to making it work right. I don't know, man. And every day I get stupid emails. Every day.
Yeah. Without fail. I mean, that's like the equivalent of trying to jump into classic car restoration.
Oh, no.
And then the next question is, what is Bondo? Fascinating.
I don't even want to think about what it's like if we sold car parts to people, because that's an element of that can kill you if you don't get it right when you install a part. I mean, you're putting people's lives in danger if you don't do it right. Yeah. So I'm just glad it's just PC mods that we cater to.
Yeah, pretty much. If you screw up water cooling, you're pretty much just gonna ruin the the basement flooring, and
maybe
possibly your PC itself. But oh well. Moving right along. This is episode 12. Overkill Bill.
Ooh. What is it with software application developers, especially for smartphones? Why is it that there has to be a change each week to the app? And I understand when there's like bugs, there's issues that need to be fixed, but when there's design changes each week, I don't understand that. I mean, aren't these apps supposed to be tools to get a task done, to either, gather information or share information? And it seems that the one neg I have is Google Plus, which I know nobody's really embraced, but I have a small group of friends online that do use it, and they keep changing the app design each week. And I don't get it. I don't understand. So the pictures float to the corner this time, or they float over here this time. And it's like, I just don't get it. I mean, look at Google itself. I mean, the main page of Google has been the same, other than like when they have a holiday animation on it, it's been the same for well over a decade. Why does the app have to keep changing? Or YouTube also? Why do we have to keep updating the face for YouTube? I mean, I don't understand. Am I just sounding like the old guy here?
No, you sounded like someone that doesn't like change, Bill. For a modder, that's
what you've run into there is the new generation of programmer. See, what you had in the old generation of programmers is the nerdy, borderline scientist type who are incredibly anal, and they wouldn't change a damn thing if they wanted to. Because it works, just deal with it. That kind of. Now what you're getting into is the mindset of, say, a 20-something female
with ADHD.
Interior decorator. This would look better in pink. It's like, oh yeah, and we'll put like 2-inch mohair on the floor. It'll look up. Nah, I don't like that anymore. That's what you're running into now.
The conspiracy theorist in me thinks it's population control. I think by having all these new apps and all this shit and the smartphones, people running around with them, nobody actually talks anymore. They don't look up when they're walking, out in public. And I think it's population control because people are now using these apps for distraction while they're driving. So, they don't see the oncoming semi-truck, since they've been swerving over to the left lane. And, I think it's a form of population control.
Or you walk into a lamppost and the phone goes flying and smashes like I do on a regular basis.
And then you have, drop another 5-6 bills to get another one.
Wow. It's amazing to hear these again and how much they still hold true to today, right?
Oh, I think it's worse.
Oh my gosh. And I do feel old. I do feel old because I like something, I use it as a tool, and I always want to come back to it and know exactly how to use it when I need it. I don't want to have this like surprise learning curve for the same thing I've been using forever. It's, I want to get the thing done, and maybe I'm old fashioned that way. I just like something that's created as a tool to use to get tasks done, to like efficiently get that thing done.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, man. Yeah. And Google Plus, still anemic and lonely and isolated.
And for the most part, irrelevant.
Yeah. And it is on the lowest ladder rung in my social media ladder, for sure.
Yep. All right. Moving along to episode 13, Cheapskate.
Should I dig one out from the rent house list?
Do it. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Did we mention cereal box dildo?
No.
We would have remembered that.
I'm intrigued.
Very much.
You may have to edit this one out anyway. I'd swear I told you guys about this one. This may be a repeat, but it's worth repeating because
that's worth a shout right now.
Okay, well, cleaned the house. I had, got a house back, and not quite sure what class of people they were, but they had to be moved out and evicted, so they were really classy. They left their empty weed box, but it was one of those houses where I took a scoop shovel and a rake to clean the floor, before I ripped the carpet up. And so I was in the bathroom pantry, and I opened the bathroom pantry, and I was like, why the hell is there food in the bathroom? And I'm going through, and I'm taking, at this point, I'm just cleaning off the shelf. I'm just throwing everything on the floor, so I can shovel it into a trash can. And I was like, and Captain Crunch is making this strange clunking sound.
And it's a little heavier than usual.
Yeah, well, it was a clunk, clunk, clunk. And I learned, don't actually touch things with your hands, from earlier, because a couple of years earlier I was cleaning out a closet, and I reached up into the closet shelf, and I was sweeping things off with my arm, and I swept a piece of clothing off, and I looked down, and it was like a size XX extra large black mesh underwear. And that was that moment where I realized, I gotta go wash my hands now.
I'm never going to lose.
At that point, that's when I learned not to actually touch anything, with your own hands. So the first instinct is to just turn the box upside down, and as I did, I see the little purple vibrator fall out on the floor.
Wow.
Classy.
To think that's where they hid it.
And
no one will discover it here.
Nobody will find it in the Captain Crunch.
Imagine if you're the person that discovers that, and it lands into your cereal bowl, and your reaction is like, wait, was General Mills actually giving these away?
Every box. I'd hope not, because it was still dirty.
Oh,
God.
It had dog hair on it.
Nice.
How do you know it's dog hair?
Because everything was covered with dog hair in this house, man.
Oh my God! I'm picturing like a cartoon panel with the images of all this stuff as he's talking, and just oh my God!
That has got to be my favorite all time. What the hell? Easily,
it's the best.
And of course, it's appropriate that it's cheapskate.
I don't envy his job.
That's the worst. Oh man!
No,
I mean, just
renting property.
Just think of all the what the hells that he doesn't tell us about. Oh my God! Man. All right. Continuing on with episode 13. In fact, there are 2 more from the same episode.
Oh.
Here is E.E.L. Customer at work was irate because we will not take back a GPU water block because he claims he threaded a fitting on it and it will not stay on the block. And he provided pictures. Turns out he apparently used a torque wrench to get the fittings on and actually busted the last couple of revolutions of threads off inside the block. And he's pissed off. He's pissed off at Nathaniel at Aqua Tuning for not taking it back. And then on top of that, he liked to use catchphrases like prick, dickhead, German, and all kinds of other stuff. And he wonders why he's not responding to his emails. So
yeah.
Oh man,
what the hell?
I've had customers like that once in a great while that you can just tell that in normal life they're assholes to people anyways, where's my fucking straw? It's like, or I didn't order cheese, you could have fucking paid for this. It's just like, you can just tell that they go around with this the approach is just to be a total loudmouth asshole to get what you want, you know?
Yeah. You know, you got to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, just give them the opportunity to correct the problem. And then if they don't, then you kind of start laying on them a little bit. But, you know, just don't be a dick right out the gate. That's uncalled for.
Yeah.
But you know, that's half the fun of it.
Very true.
I was just thinking 2 words came to mind while listening to that. Mental illness. That's
yeah.
This is
Yeah, most likely the gentleman was an American too.
Yeah. Oh man. I had a customer recently that was being dickish. That like nothing we said or did was ever right. It was all lies, and it's just like, really? I mean, do you really want to battle over a little part that was $3? I don't get it. I think it's a reflection of just other problems in their life going on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just refund them and move along.
Yeah, it's not worth the hassle or heartache.
No, not at all.
All right. And continuing on with episode 13, we have Kyle.
Since when can a hotel justify charging you £6.30 for a shot of Smirnoff?
£6.30. That would be, what would that be for our cost?
$12.
Yeah.
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 What? Did you pay it?
I was at a dinner last night, and drinks were $6.30 a piece. It was a soberish night.
What's the most you've ever paid for a drink in your life, guys? For one drink?
You're assuming I drink.
Well, you would be $1.79 root beer.
That's pretty high.
Honestly, when I drank, I really didn't drink out and about all that much. I mean, whenever I'd go to concerts, I'd probably get something like a beer or something. But it's, you know, I'd say probably no more than like $5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah, actually, he just reminded me there was the Monsters of Rock tour, and it was like 120 degrees, 140 degree heat index. So, you know, they marked up the price on the drinks. You had a choice of Coke or Coke, and it was $7 for like 16 ounces.
Oh, nice. God.
Yeah, was that a stadium then? Kind of.
That was a stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
I've been, you know, there's times when you're, if you go out to dinner for, you know, special occasion, or if it's a business thing or whatever, and you got to have a drink, you know, just to kind of lighten the mood or whatever. I think the most I spent was $14 on it's like a margarita, some kind of fancy margarita or something. I know. It's like, yeah.
It's nothing.
It's nothing? Oh.
In the UK, we can get charged a good £14-15 for a drink, and no one will bat an eye. In some places.
Nothing like those designer frozen margaritas. It's basically a slushy with spiked with alcohol.
That's exactly it. And a paper umbrella.
God, $12 for a freaking drink. That's insane.
It made me think of Vegas and some of the places in Vegas, how it got ridiculous.
No, I can imagine.
I'm so glad that I don't really drink anymore. I mean, I'll have a beer once in a great while if I'm out, maybe, but I don't get mixed drinks, just because, you know, when you're in a place where you've got 4 different servers for your dinner, that the drink's going to be ridiculously expensive, even though it's simple, you know. And, you know, some of these designer indie brew, homebrew beers out here that I can't even keep up with any of them now. And it's like, oh, give me a break. Yeah.
Well, the microbrew stuff was always the, you know, kind of the go-to for, you know, the adventurous alcoholic or budding alcoholic or brewski connoisseur, you know.
Well, if I have some real alcoholic friends that have been alcoholics. I mean, they call them functioning alcoholics. They work a full-time job.
Yeah.
And what I've learned about them is they're very brand loyal and are very budget conscious too, you know. And they don't really give a shit so much about trying different beers. Once they're committed, it's like their fuel, you know. It's like, you know.
So lots of empty cans of Milwaukee's Best and Pabst Blue Ribbon, Miller Lite.
Yeah, Miller Lite and
Schlitz.
Schlitz. Surprisingly, my friend Brian drinks Bass Ale religiously.
Wow.
Which is it's kind of odd, but it's good. I like Bass Ale, but interesting that that's his go-to beer every day. Still, after all these years.
Yeah, whatever works, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along to episode 14, Cheapskate.
It was another bad tenant. It was the one we had. I literally had to use the scoop shovel and a rake to clean the floor with before I could actually rip the carpet out.
Where did these people come
do
from?
an interview process at all? Or?
Well, they have more than 3 teeth, so yeah. Here's the contract.
No, it was more like look good on paper, and then you find out that they're a total crook and they had 3 feral children and a dog that they didn't mention. You know, it's one of those things. And apparently the children would walk around the house and eat candy and eat food and eat and I don't know how that dog stayed alive as much chocolate and M&Ms and shit was on the floor, but
God.
Obviously, you learn not to eat after the children. But anyway, the scary part was, they quit paying their bills, of course, and they tried to use a couch that they'd thrown in the backyard. They broke off an armrest and tried to use it in the fireplace to start a fire to keep warm in the winter. That's not the scary part. The scary part was I dismantled the couch and found like 5 or 6 remotes and forks and spoons and a toothbrush. And I thought, toothbrush, that's an odd place for a toothbrush, but I need something to clean the candy out of the carpet because it turns out once you get all the trash off of it, it was actually kind of clean except for a couple of trampled in pieces of candy. And I'm cleaning so I'm cleaning, I'm steam cleaning the carpet and occasionally using the toothbrush, and then I noticed that the toothbrush has an on switch. So I'm like, okay, and I click the on switch and it starts vibrating.
That was a toothbrush, right?
At that point, I realized, yes, it was a toothbrush. Apparently, it's like got a dual-purpose toothbrush. They're apparently selling them as a sonic cleaner, which is why it has the big bulbous handle. But I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I'd used it for like a week until I saw the switch on it. It's like that explains why it was in the couch, but I really didn't know that.
Man, I had no idea that the Adam and Eve catalog carried Sonicare. Oh my God, I forgot about that one.
Oh, it's so weird. It's almost like deja vu. We're looping now. It's kind of weird.
It's just the same crap.
It is. And I'm
day in and day out.
All right. And I tease him about an interview process for these tenants, but it's like these stories keep repeating, though, of just like these disaster zones. And you know what? We're going to hear more.
I hope so. I mean, to be honest with you, it's almost therapy for me. It's like I need to hear this stuff.
Somebody's got it worse off than me.
Absolutely. All right. Moving along there's actually 3 clips in a row from E.E.L. I'm not sure what these are about, but let's jump right into them. This one's from episode 14. Oh man, let's flip through the Rolodex of what the hells over the past few hours.
That one you tweeted. That one you tweeted this week from a customer. That's just share what the hell and go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I also posted it on Facebook, but I know a few people read it. But okay, some idiot had sent a pointless email to the work customer service email address, and this is a quote. I tried to dynamically fix the grammar as I go, but it actually hurts my brain to look at it and try to speak it without sounding like a complete idiot. Okay, I would like...
Do it in the voice.
Okay. I would like to know, and that's spelled T-O-O, why you are charging $9.75 to ship your Daily Deal Sunbeam Robust fan controller. And that's a period, not a question mark.
That's a statement.
Yeah. You think we're stupid. W-E-R-E. Space. You, not capitalized, think we don't, no apostrophe, know the Daily Deal is actually bullshit and you're, no apostrophe R-E, making up the cost on inflated shipping charges? You, not capitalized, sicken me. I will never buy anything from this company. I cannot stand shady-ass companies. Period. Run-on sentence. Okay. So I see that one, and before Duke decided to grab a hold of it, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and reply to this. So I went, I hit the, the sarcasm button, and went, hello. Thank you for your kind and courteous email. Nothing fills us with pride more than to see resolute professionalism portrayed in email form, complete with perfect punctuation and a complete lack of profanity, and most importantly, imparts unbiased information. It really states the level of communicative abilities one has. We greatly appreciate your insightful observation and sincerely hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Also, ignoring all the other grammatical mistakes, how do you manage to have a space after a word and a question mark?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a grammar Nazi or anything. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm more than happy to sound like a grammar Nazi. It's fine.
What, you've never rage typed?
Oh, there was no $sign in front of the 975 as well.
I've rage typed, but the way I see it is if I'm raging at someone, therefore, I need to have everything correct, and they don't have anything to retort with.
And
especially on Facebook.
And really, the ultimate question with all this, I really should have asked the customer directly. What the hell is a robust? R-H-O-B-U-S. Robust. Is that one of those little automated vacuum cleaners or something? Oh my God. Am I really that much of a dick? Good Lord.
No, you total validation and total right to voice your anger like that, because what the hell has been a therapeutic thing for all of us. And sometimes we'll save up those really good what the hells. Oh, I got to use this on the next podcast. Got to remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll hit so rapidly that you don't even remember them anymore.
Oh, and have you noticed too that a lot of the what the hells happen the same day?
Oh yeah.
Podcast?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along to episode 17. E.E.L. Why do some so-called water coolers out there think it's okay to plug up a leak with chewing gum? I don't understand that.
How the hell?
Yeah.
Please tell me you haven't got an RMA with...
We got an RMA, and it was an alpha core reservoir. That was mistake number one. But the reservoir, It was one of those models that had the little LED inserts. They have like little acrylic rods that thread in from the inside of the cap that have an O-ring present. So, to stop a leak. Well, anyway, the O-ring doesn't work all that well, so of course it leaks. And the 5mm port on the outside of the reservoir, there's like 4 or 5 of them on each end cap. I don't know why anybody would need to light it up that much, but still. Landing planes. One of those ports had something blocking it, so I was like, well, what the hell is this? It's kind of like a grayish, reddish, weird-looking material. And I took a drill bit that was small enough and just kind of poked at it and finally got it extracted. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And at first I thought maybe it was some kind of like plumber's putty or, something that, that somebody shoved in there as like just a quick fix. Well, I'm holding it with my hand, which was mistake number 2. And I squeeze it a little bit. And then I'm like, all of a sudden the overwhelming smell of juicy fruit comes in. Oh, God.
So I'm like, what the f***? So I immediately snap
First of all, the
pictures
first
of
problem there was they were chewing on juicy fruit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it could have been worse. Could have been like, fruit stripe gum or something. Where the flavor lasts about 3 seconds and it gets spit out.
Extras, the only gum that should ever be allowed.
Isn't this product fairly spendy to buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, do-it-yourself liquid cooling loops are fairly expensive as a whole. I mean, if you're going to take the time to pick out all your components and everything, and the price, it adds up. What goes through your mind to do like a jackass quick fix, like dollar
Okay,
store?
I won't do it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is like this is the water cooling fix equivalent of like throwing your vehicle up on blocks in the front yard. I don't understand that. It's like
or driving on the donut.
The donut for like 3 weeks.
Oh my God. Yeah, I still remember that. Hand up, honest truth. That really happened. Somebody shoved gum into a reservoir.
Dopey mud. And here's the thing, to send it back and show you this is what an idiot I am.
Oh man. Chewing gum. Freaking chewing gum.
Man.
Oh, it's disgusting.
But did it work though? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't apparently not, because why would he RMA it?
That's true.
Oh, God.
I tried.
And on top of that, I didn't even check to see if I had hepatitis or anything. All right. Moving on to episode 18. E.E.L. Again. I guess the first one is just kind of social commentary. Black fucking Friday. What the hell is wrong with you people? Why the hell would anybody stand in line in the middle of the fucking night just to save like $20 on a piece of shit electronics? Why would you do that? What's the death count up to already? Like 8 confirmed deaths or some bullshit in the U.S.? What the hell? Ugh. You guys are idiots. Just fucking wait a couple of days and go on the weekend. It'll save you. It'll save the crowds and possibly save your toddler from getting trampled to death.
Cyber Monday.
And there's people, that may actually go out there because, they're the old mosh pit generation or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just stomp on people.
What the hell?
If I was over there, that's what I would do. I would be crowd surfing outside a wall.
There's that, and my second one is I was out in the shop working on Clunk yesterday, and I could hear my son saying something, and he gets a certain tone to his voice when he's in distress, and I couldn't really hear him, but then he came running out into the shop completely butt naked, and which is normal around here for everybody.
It's Florida.
But he somehow he managed to get a hold of a roll of Scotch tape and proceeded to wrap the Scotch tape around his area. So I had to
Just like Dad.
Just like Dad. So I had to carefully extract the Scotch tape from his jank, and gently tell him to he has the right idea on masking something off a painting, but don't paint that.
Use the 233 plus tape.
Yeah. What the hell?
Oh my God! Here, son, use this tape instead. It holds much better.
Absolutely.
Less adhesion when you need to remove it.
Oh God!
You know what? I just had a what the hell? Toby Kirkby's audio quality. It sounded like he was using a crystal radio.
Yeah, I don't think his audio stream ever sounded decent.
No,
I don't know what was going on. All right, moving on to episode 19, Jeepsgate. Of course.
We had a bird try to nest in the holiday wreath on the front door.
Nice.
You open up the front door, he's like, "What the f***? My house is moving!"
Yep.
That's
that's Jeeps right there.
Wow, that one was like 15 seconds, if even that. That was a good one.
Yep, straight, short and to the point.
Because you can totally picture the cartoon panel in your mind as he's talking.
Yeah. All right, episode 20, Bill.
The Lego Movie. Okay. Great movie. The experience of going to it was a what the hell. I hate going to the mall. I hate the mall so much. First off, getting out of the car becomes a Frogger video game because of all the idiot drivers in the parking lot. Why the hell are you in a hurry to go to a mall? You're in a hurry to go inside and walk around. And what kind of stores in there? Knob Hill. We're gonna go buy some gold-plated doorknobs today.
Not a real store.
I go through the mall and it's like, what a waste of money. I understand why people are going to Amazon, and as long as I have McMaster car, I'm set. Everything I can get there. So you get in there, and I understand that going to the movies isn't cheap like when we were kids. And we went to the 11 a.m. showing, and it was $6.75 a ticket. I can swallow that. That's okay. My son really wanted to see the movie.
Yeah, it was for your son. It wasn't for you at all.
We pay like double that in pounds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous over here, isn't it?
And that was a matinee.
Yeah.
Those are cheaper. I think it would have been like $9 after 6 o'clock or something. So the tickets, I can deal with that. It's when you're there with your kid, you've got to go through the whole movie watching experience. That means going to the concession stand.
Absolutely.
And I know everybody's like, well, just stop at the drugstore on the way and buy some candy and make your own microwave popcorn and sneak that in a backpack. That way you won't have to pay those prices. Well, you know what? I wasn't that prepared. I do have one vice when I go to the movies. I like my cherry icy because you can't get cherry icy anywhere. Like, there's no 7-Elevens here anymore, so I like to indulge in the ices. My son does too. He inherited that. He really like cherry icy. So, pretty much, okay, you're looking at... okay, by the way, I'm looking at the menu as I'm waiting in line, and there's all these... you've got Frozen, you've got The Hobbit.
Frozen's amazing.
There's one other kids movie, I think, and I could be wrong. I think
there's an audio drop to plague Kyle with.
There's so many movie screens in this theater that you look at this huge marquee of all the time schedule, it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11. It's like every half hour they've got a showing, and then they've got either 2D or 3D, and I'm definitely not going to do 3D. I did that once for Tron, and it was like, it's not worth it. I think I walked out of there with a migraine.
Oh, God.
So, $9 for a large popcorn. Think of how much money they're making from popcorn alone.
Oh, yeah.
Bill, there was a documentary on movie theaters in the UK.
That's why I take a bag of snacks.
And they get So the big one here is Cineworld, and they get upset when employees rip the bags because they don't mind if all the popcorn lands on the floor,
But if they rip the bag's worth more. The paper bag is worth more than the popcorn inside.
I think it's
Wow.
Exactly.
Yes, it's so true. Well, then, popcorn isn't the only thing you gotta get. You gotta get some candy, and then you're looking at I don't know $5-6 for a bag of M&Ms, and so basically you're walking away from the concession stand dropping 20-something bucks, And I understand. I've gone to children's movies before. Opening weekend can be brutal because there's these parents that believe that the movie theater is some type of babysitting facility. It's like we're in this theater, it's packed, and there's parents bringing in kids that are like toddlers that can barely even walk up the steps. And it's like, do these kids even play with Legos at home? Is Legos even safe for this age? And then, so the movie finally starts, after the stupid previews, and you know what? I don't give a shit about the new Batman. I mean, what's next? Are we going to have Batman's grandson next year? I'm so sick of superhero movies. It's like, Hollywood, please.
Bravo.
Please. Where's our sci-fi movies? Where the frick was all the sci-fi movies gone? So, movie starts, and then there's this woman walking up and down the steps as I'm sitting. As I like to sit right on the aisle in case I have, as I want to have a quick escape when the movie's over. Jason, how the hell could you lose your kid in a movie theater? What the hell? What did he run in there and sit down by himself, or what the hell? So that's going on, and then halfway through the movie, there's this little girl. Then she's not even sitting in her. She's in the aisle, and she's got these pants with bells on. Who brings their child to a movie with bells on their pants?
Some kids are dangerous. You have to put bells on them.
Still applies to this day.
The last movie I went to see was, I don't even remember. I think I blocked it out. It was with Jack. He wanted to see something, and it wasn't a superhero movie, but it was in the same kind of genre or something. And like I said, I hate going to the mall. I hate going to theaters. I usually go to the first showing Saturday mornings because it's the least amount of people, because no one's motivated enough to get up. All right, they all wait till afternoon to go see the movie. So we usually try to go to the first showing, which is like 9:30 or 10, around there. And so we're in this theater, huge theater. We go all the way up to the very top, the last row. Me and Jack, we're up there. We're comfortable. We've got our munchies. We're kicking back, enjoying the space. No one's around us. I think it was like the last half hour of the movie. This couple walks in. They're overweight. No, they're obese. And they're walking up very slow, and they walk all the way to the top where we are sitting. No one else is around. And they're holding food trays. And then the guy proceeds to turn on the light on his phone to look at us.
Oh my God.
While we're watching the last half hour of this movie. And I was like, I'm getting punked by somebody. This is a setup. There's a camera. There is no way these people are that stupid. And even Jack's like, what the hell is going on? And then I literally said, what the hell? And then they kind of looked at me and go, and then they kind of moved down to a few aisles in front of us. It was just the weird, I don't know. It was just like,
go graze somewhere else.
Who shows up the last half hour of a movie?
Oh my God.
That's just stupid. I don't know, man. The public, the rat race is just so stupid, man.
Well, maybe they saw the previous showing like the night before, and they watched the first 2/3 of the film, and then they had to make an emergency snack bar.
They were hungry.
Run.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. They were hungry, and they had to leave the theater to hit the buffet that was near the mall. The all-you-can-eat buffet for $7.99. No.
Which coincidentally is now closed because of them.
Oh man. Yeah.
All right. Let's knock it off with the fat shaming here. All right. Moving right along. Episode 21. Kyle.
Now it's my turn, and I'm going to have to say sorry to everyone for a while. So, in 1808, there was a guy called Humphrey Davy, and he discovered something that we all know now as aluminium. However, he called it aluminum. And the only reason that the British call it aluminium was in the same year, so 1808, a British political literary journal decided that aluminum didn't sound right, and so they changed the name to aluminium. And so you guys have actually been right all along.
Well, Kyle, I have to step up here.
That made Cheeps wake up.
I have to commend you for actually having the balls to admit this. Bravo.
Somebody just handed me a bouquet of flowers.
You like the prom queen, Cheeps? For years we've been giving Kyle shit about how he says aluminum. So
this is what the literary journal said. So we shall take the liberty of writing the word in preference to aluminum, which has a less classical sound.
Oh man, that whole aluminium thing is it's been ongoing for years.
Yes,
I going back from I'd say probably 6 projects ago, mod projects. I'll actually have, when I use the word aluminum, I'll put in parentheses aluminium for Kyle. I've been doing it for years, and it's
that's nice.
It'll never get old.
It's a nice callback, and okay. Before we did the Mod Zoo podcast, we did the Mod Brothers podcast.
Yep.
And officially, when did we start doing podcasts? Do you know, was it 2009 or earlier than that, or what?
Oh man, I did. Yeah, it may have been 2008, maybe 2000. Yeah, somewhere around there.
The reason I was thinking about that is because Kyle, how we met Kyle is Kyle joined the previous community, which it was the Mod Nation. It wasn't even. It was before the Mod Brothers. It was the Mod Nation, and Kyle
Mod
was.
Nation.
He was 16, I think. 16 years old. And now he's... What is he? And he's in his 30s now, isn't he?
Is he really? No, he's not. No, he's like 25 or 23 really? Or something. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, he was a wee lad.
A wee lad. We had some kind of wicked influence on Kyle because we still talk to him daily. Ever since then, we still talk to him daily.
No, he's an old soul. He's a good kid. He's a good young man now, and I think he's looking up in the world.
Well, the thing about Kyle is that Kyle has got a great sense of humor.
Oh yeah,
and you got to be able to take a lashing from us. You know what I mean? You got to just take it in stride.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at the podcast in general. We have an hour runtime. 45 minutes of that is probably laughing.
Yes, we were scolded. Wasn't it? It was you that reminded me the other day that we were scolded or poo-pooed for giggling too much in a podcast.
Yeah, that was a critique.
Yeah,
you guys giggle too much.
Oh,
I take that as a compliment.
Okay, so it's like when we first started the cast, it was a vehicle to spread the word about PC modding and customizing and liquid cooling. And
first of its kind, actually.
Yeah, and when you look at what category you put us in, it's like technology, computers, and the general consensus, or the majority rule, is tech is supposed to be taken seriously, and I think the fact that we like to void warranties, change things, do things different, express ourselves.
Yeah.
Is why we've always had, like, if we're going to do a podcast, well, let's have fun, you know? So it's like a way to vent, and that's like, goes back to the what the hell. I mean, it was a way to just vent about things that were going on. So.
Yes. Very true. Very true. Moving along to episode 22. There's actually 3 cheapskates in a row. 2 of them from episode 22 and 1 of them from 23. This one is actually between Cheaps and Stu over the dreaded air mod.
It's coming. I got all my drawings done. We started cutting wood.
Where's the work log?
It's not up yet. Obviously.
Do not post an air mod.
All right. Well, I have to have enough content so Cheaps doesn't come down and start yelling at me.
Cheaps yells at us anyway.
Right. Well, that's the point. I want to get enough behind it to.
Those are turning into a plague lately, though.
Cheaps, describe what an air mod is.
Oh, that's a project log that has nothing but love and butterflies and actual work product, or even a part purchased yet,
or a photo,
or even a photo. I'm totally gonna buy this, and I'm gonna totally buy this, and it's gonna have flames on the side. It's not too bad. There was one on BitTech like 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, it was obviously a teenager, and he started the project. He said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. Oh, and I found this motorcycle, so I'm not going to do anything anymore. I'm going to work on this motorcycle instead.
I remember that.
So in the his first post was his last post.
I have a motorbike.
Yeah.
And he's like, God. I mean, shit, do we really have that much of a marijuana problem in America?
It's no longer a problem.
It's a solution.
Oh, man. Not having a whole lot of free time, that's pretty much been my excuse for a number of years now, but hopefully I can get back to my old habits of pretty much camping out on the forum and just reading logs like I used to do. I miss that. I miss those days so much. I mean, that, the old BitTech days, that was, that's Cheaps and I, that's all we did. We just sat on the forum, just reading logs.
That's what he does still today, along with Mosquito. Mosquito and Cheapskate are they're like the ambassadors of the Mods Do forums.
They're keeping the forum from going idle.
Yes, they are. They are. I peeked on there actually yesterday. I made a point to I'm going to look at some project logs and post some responses. And what I've noticed, the landscape's changed a lot. Since you and I were much more active, and Cheaps and everybody there was a point when all of us had work logs going on, and the landscape has changed in that there's this real push to mention every sponsor on your build as if it was a NASCAR with all the sponsors on it. And I'm not lying. It's true. If you look at these projects, I think for somebody decided, or just like the community is felt like, well, this is what you need to do. You need to get every one of those sponsors mentioned on your build. And not that everybody's doing it, but there is a majority of people that are doing it. And I'm gonna for those people that are listening to this, I'm gonna give you some advice from my perspective. And I'm doing the big client builds. You don't need to do that. You are using their product. You're installing their product in your build. You're taking beautiful photos because the level of photography has gotten so good now, and cameras have gotten so much better, and people have learned how to use lighting. You don't need to put their name on it, even not once. Some people are putting that it's. I think here's what's happening, people. You're ruining the look of your build because you're also time stamping that build to a time and an era, and some of these companies may not be around, or their logo designs change. Don't do it. And I can tell you this. As a collective, people are making the decision that like this is what it needs to be. It's like it's the fashion right now. Manufacturers aren't telling you to do that, and you know it. They didn't tell you need to put our name on there. I've dealt with all these manufacturers, and it's never been you need to have our name on there somewhere. No, don't do it. Don't do it anymore. Those of you that are Modzu monkeys, stop doing it. You don't need to do it. Let your work speak for itself. I think in a way that the sponsor names are defacing some beautiful projects. It's kind of like it's become a distraction. So,
yeah, I'll admit that I do it too. However, I don't generally approach manufacturers or potential sponsors all that often. And if I do, it's a company that I've actually come to trust and to use in the past, as just a regular customer. If I'm asking somebody for sponsorship or support or what have you on a project, it's because I actually believe in their product. There's usually only a handful of names that I tend to use. M and PC Tech is a mainstay. That one will always be on there. Probably the only other exception would be Seasonic. I use nothing but Seasonic power supplies. That's personal choice and personal experience. That's the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. But I try not to smear the logo feces all over the place.
And that's what it is. It's just like this overkill. And here's these guys that are doing this. They're talented. They do stuff that's unlike everybody else, because what we're seeing out there in the landscape is a lot of the same types of builds that are just color keyed, color scheme that are matching with the hardline tubing and stuff. You guys don't need to put these names all over your build. Yeah, a lot of the products already have a ton of logos on them, so that's just me. That's, but yeah, E.E.L, thank you for doing that.
I do it because I like to give thanks and, show respect, I guess. Plus
You're not going overboard with it, though. You're doing it in a way that complements the overall look of it.
Exactly. Yeah, I just try to work it into the overall aesthetic.
Right. It's not so like this plaque on it with a list of names.
Yeah. Plus, when you look at the project log, it's it doesn't look like it's a web page on an Android phone without an ad blocker. It's like about 2 miles worth of ads everywhere before you finally get to the actual meat of the website that you're trying to read.
Mods. Yes, exactly. And there's people that still will do that. They'll start a project log. They'll have no actual physical work being shown. Another thing that some people do, it's a very small fraction of people, they reserve spots on the project, on the community forum for future updates. Give me a break.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that a lot with the overseas forums. That seems to be a normal thing. Yeah. That's why I always edit the title of the project itself, or edit the name and put the date in it, like, updated whatever, or update nice. Number 4, update number 5, and then I have the date next to it. That way, at a glance, if you're looking at it in text form, you can see, okay, there's another update to that worthless project log,
Well, and I feel that project logs and community forums are it's a disappearing art form. And we have to keep it alive.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is an art form. That's a perfect way to describe it. There's a certain discipline, and I guess you can say project log kung fu that you have to master to have a coherent project log. I don't know. It's starting to sound pretentious, actually. Never mind.
Well, it acts as a portfolio when you don't have your own website to at least highlight your work to people you're reaching out to for sponsorships.
Exactly. Yeah. I just treat it, in my personal project logs, I treat them as just little stories.
Yeah. They're like articles, chapters.
Yeah. Basically, I'm opening the curtains up so that the viewer can peek in and look over my shoulder at what I'm doing at that particular moment. Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
Well, and have you noticed, like, when you're researching something, here's the thing, why they're so important. You're researching and you stumble upon an image in Google, then you go to that image, the source page, and you discover it's a project log. There's more pictures of this how it was done. It's like one of the greatest gifts. It's like an Easter egg, know? And we need to keep laying those Easter eggs, people.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there are some amazing masters out there that that have come and gone, some that are still active, but there are some incredible project logs out there. You just have to read, have to research. I mean, it's not necessarily seeing those beautiful pictures at the end of the log. It's about reading the journey itself to see where you're getting from point A to point Z. And all the blood along the way. All right, staying on episode 22, and this is Cheapskate's actual What the Hell.
Oh, I ain't got much.
Sure you have one from last time.
I'm kind of like that one from last time that nobody's heard. What was that? Oh,
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I had the break in, and the neighbor said he was gonna put a dog in the backyard so that I wouldn't have any problems with the break-ins and it'd scare off the guy who was breaking in. And went over there and I heard yep. And I looked out the window and the guy's got a pit bull and he's got a Great Dane. And I look out there, and there's this little 10-pound fuzzy ball of my dog over there in my backyard. I thought, sure, that'll work. Although the irony is, I had to get into that backyard to mow to mow it yesterday, and I got over there, and there was a Great Dane in the backyard.
Does the swap out?
Just it's like, okay, that got kind of big. And of course he was gone, so I'm not going to go out there and go, hey dog, can you go in the other over in the next yard over? No, I ain't gonna do that. Not when the dog's got 20 pounds on me.
Next,
and his food bowl's empty.
Oh man.
The first time I heard that, I was trying to put together what he's talking about, and again, when I was listening to it, I'm trying to pick. you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like he's talking about like there's the tenant is like, I'm gonna put a dog there for you, and then he ends up putting like this little yappy dog. But my question is, why is the tenant putting a dog there if they're not there anymore? Or I don't know.
It's cheapskate. I just try to take it at face value.
Exactly. It's like a puzzle.
I'm just hoping for more, more dildo stories, I guess. Call me a 12-year-old. I just that's classy entertainment right there.
Yeah, it is funny.
All right, and continuing on with the cheapskate streak, episode 23.
I've been prepping the house for repainting it, which, I've pressure washed the outside and all the green stuff off the house because it is Texas, so green stuff on the walls. It's supposed to be white, but it's green. And the first thing I painted was the back. No, it's not the back door. It's the side door. This damn house got 7 doors. But it was the first thing I painted was the back door, right? And the next, like 2 days later, I noticed there was a funky smell, which usually means that something's dead here. So I took a look. So I was going through the door. I took a look, and right up in the top corner at the door jamb, on the hinge side, I'd had a lizard suicide himself. And so it was just his head, and his body was sticking out of the door jamb. And I've got this nice white door with a diagonal stripe of lizard brains.
Wow.
Sorry. So I got to do it again.
How big of a lizard? How many inches long? Like 6 or?
The little anole chameleons?
Yeah.
Green anole or brown anole?
Mostly red.
Wow. Texas living, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we have them around here too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we have nothing like that in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's probably too cold.
Yeah, it is. In fact, it's freezing right now. We've got the scariest thing I've seen here is wolf spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of them moving in right now because of the cold outside. Yeah. Yeah, roaming spiders, they make me a little apprehensive, but ultimately they're just trying to stay the hell away from you.
Yeah.
They just want to catch the bugs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're here to help us, right?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I mean, we have, in the house here, we have, I don't want to say plagued with them, but we have a few cellar spiders, and we just let them, leave them be. They're right in the main part of the house, up in the ceiling. We just leave them there because every time that front door opens, we have a wave of, quarter-size mutant mosquitoes.
Oh my gosh!
That fly in. So, in a way that that's kind of mosquito control.
So, okay, when I was in Florida, I've been in Florida twice in my life. I don't recall mosquitoes. Minnesota is more, that's our native bird, they say the mosquito is. And you're saying quarter-sized mosquitoes there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Have they always been there?
I've seen maybe 5 distinct mosquito species. You can see, any season. Just one type that gets huge. If you kill it and you lay it on top of a quarter, it'll cover a majority of it.
Jeez.
And then it's disgusting.
And they come here they come from like marshes, standing water, like swampy stuff. And they have mosquito control units that go out when it's before the season, and they try to control it, you know. But yeah.
Mosquitoes.
Is the next one Cheeps too, or
no? Episode 24 is Overkill Bill.
Oh, what was this? What the hell?
I had alluded to that it was what the hell over one of our Overkill grills, our new ones that Cheeps had drawn up They were inspired by Star Wars symbols. The other day,
those two.
my wife was pulling an order, and she says, "Which one is the Rebel Alliance grill?" I go, well, it's the one that looks like, and I've got my hands gesturing, it looks like the Rising Phoenix kind of, it's got, ever seen the Rising Phoenix where it's got like the fire, the birds kind of rising up? It kind of looks like that. She kind of looks at me and goes, And so I see her, from where I'm looking, I can see the grills are in like a bin that you can see through, and I can see where it is in the bin and where she's paging, kind of filing through them, and she's nowhere near it. And I go, "What? It's no, it's not that. It's over there. It's no. Put your hand over here, in the back. Yep, that's it." And she goes, "Oh, this one?" I go, "Yeah," and she goes, "Oh, I thought this was the balls grill." And just
me too when I drew it up.
I just posted the image of the grill, and I never thought of it that way. She's like, and here's the thing, and I look at it, I go,
I did. I even warned you about it. You're gonna look like a couple of nuts, dude.
Jeeps, that's how out of it I've been, man.
Oh, man.
I don't even remember when you said that. Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing that Floyd, like, okay, and when she says that, and I laugh, and I go, okay, this is what really perplexed me. I go, why would, if they were balls, why the hell would I ever make a balls-themed grill to sell? I mean, yeah, really, do you really think,
the hell would they make?
Yeah, I go, do you really think that I would do something like that and it would sell? And she goes, well, I don't know. I mean, I've seen, like when they put those balls on the back of the tow hitch on trucks and stuff. And I go, yeah, well, it doesn't translate to this market. So that's something entirely different. But then I saw it, I go, oh, that's funny because I never thought of it that way. And that market's very lucrative, but I'm going to stay away from that. That reminds me, years ago, Steve, my old machinist, he was making billet butt plug for a customer. And when I gone over there to pick up some grills, he's like, yeah, I talked to this. He had like this, it was a billet butt plug on the bench. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing with this? And he's like, yeah, well, this company wants me to make these, and it's really good money. Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyways, do whatever you can, right, to pay the bills.
Dude, if you actually want to make some balls-themed grills, I think they would sell like hotcakes. Really? Except the only color you could do them in is anodized blue.
It was that I remember that morning when she showed that to me, and it's amazing. It's like it's like one of those drawings where people see two different things in one drawing, right? And that whole time I saw and those of you listening can Jedi Alliance logo. You'll see. Well, maybe not, but you may see the balls, and when you milled it, yeah, you could definitely see it looks like two testicles off the fucking back of a dog or something. It's just like, and I was like, wow, it was like I had total tunnel vision and never saw it. But Cheaps, like he said, he had seen it from the beginning. He's like, okay, if you want them, all right, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, yes. I think it's great that Mrs. Bill is the one that pointed this out, though.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Classic.
Oh.
All right, and for the final What the Hell, episode 26, Cheapskate.
3 dumpsters later, we get the house emptied out, and I finally decide, hey, now it's time to go over there because we've got a half-empty, got a dumpster I can throw some stuff in. So I truck some stuff over there, and I go check out the house, and I'm talking with one of our contractor buddies, and I'm getting ready to close the house up, and I'm closing up the garage, and I see a flash of something moving in the corner.
Jeez.
Up on the shelf. And I go over and I look at it. It's a chicken. I've inherited a chicken.
Do you still have the chicken?
No, the chicken's at the house, and there's no getting rid of her.
So it's just
there's an oven.
You know, it's funny. That's what my mom said. Those make good dumplings.
Is it living in the yard then?
Apparently it's living in the yard, and you know, and they'd left the garage open, and it was roosting in the garage at night.
So is it a male or female chicken?
It's a hen.
Oh, okay. You said roosting in the garage. I was like, well, that'd be a rooster.
So yeah, they just wanted
Free
fresh farm
eggs.
eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. You have to put a disclaimer. You cannot disclaim that the eggs are fresh from a farm or freshly from a farm. All right, go ahead.
Fresh eggs. But yeah, and we finally got the garage locked up, so
it can't escape.
No. It was roaming around. This sucker, I mean, it's ghosting me when I'm around the house.
Oh,
it just
yeah.
follows me around. It's like, this is obviously this is their yard, you know. And
I mean, like it's security chicken?
like a garden chicken, yes.
Maybe it wants you to chase it like Rocky.
And it's obvious the chicken's been there a long time because everybody slows down when they go past the house. And it's like they know to dodge the chicken.
Oh.
That is so weird. I used to eat at a place that was called Dodge's Chicken.
Oh boy. Yeah, and you know, as ridiculous as it sounds, having a chicken at one of the houses, that's just normal for Cheapskate, which is what's fascinating.
We have some friends that have chickens here in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
for the farm fresh eggs, and they're a bit eccentric. You know?
Yeah, it's good insect control too. You know, if you want to keep bugs away in the yard, it's a good way to do it.
I hope that he names the chicken and keeps it. We'll have to find out when we do the next podcast.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, curious what the chicken situation is. All right, and as a closer for this, we are going to do a live What the Hell.
Oh my gosh.
Would you like to go first?
I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. All right. I actually have two that's happened to me recently, but I'm just going to go with one. I've been doing a lot of editing on the main system recently. A lot of video, a lot of audio, some graphics work. So I'm constantly staring at the display. And the other day, I noticed some sugar ants were crawling around on the desk. So I'm like, where the hell are these things coming from? So I kind of cleaned everything off, looked around. You know, things are pretty sparse on the desk anyway, so there's not a whole lot of places that they can hide. And I see one crawling on the display. I have I think I had like the default Google browser window open. I just had the Google page, and it was just white. And I can see this tiny ant crawling around on it, so I wipe it off, and I'm like, what the hell? So a couple days later, I'm sitting in the same spot again, and I'm working on something, and then I see another freaking ant crawling on the screen, and I'm like, God damn it! So I just kind of absently wipe at it. I realize it's inside the freaking TFT.
No!
And I'm like, what the hell?
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Warm in there.
I guess, yeah, that's probably it.
Wow. Okay, that reminds me. years ago. It was like 2003 or 2004. I remember this. I had my office set up in the basement of our house. Fairly new to this house, and similar experience. However, it was baby spiders.
Oh,
baby spiders, and it was an unfinished basement with the rafters for the ceiling, the floor for the ceiling, and one of the egg sacs for a spider downstairs and they were literally just all over the place, like falling from the top of the rafters onto me. That was bizarre. Yeah, and I think what it was is that where my desk was in the basement, leaving my PC on 24/7, it was like a nice little heat source.
Yeah,
generating heat.
Makes sense.
Well, I've got more than one what the hell as well, but I'll stick to just one. And it's the holiday season. It's December 8th, 2016. And Amazon. People are ordering Christmas gifts from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon has infiltrated our lives. And two things my wife witnessed in regards to Amazon in the last 2 weeks. First was, she was waiting for one of our kids to come home. It was early evening. It was a Sunday evening, and on Sundays, Amazon is delivered in our neighborhood. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's USPS that delivers Amazon on Sundays.
Yes.
And this is about 4 o'clock. And here, because it's winter now, it gets dark. She saw this car pull up, and it was like it was a tan Chevy Impala, and it just sat there idling for a while. And then there was a guy and a gal in it. That guy gets out, goes to the back seat, and he takes a bunch of boxes. He opens up the trunk, and he puts them in the trunk. He transferred from the back seat to the trunk, and they're just sitting there. And my wife's just kind of watching from inside our four-season porch. They can't see her. Then the girl gets out of the car, and she walks up to our neighbor's house, and there is 2 Amazon boxes at their door, and this girl proceeds to take the boxes and walk back to the car. And my wife knew something's up here. This doesn't look right. She opens the door. Hey, what are you doing? Those aren't yours. And the girl turns around and goes, yeah, it is. It's my mom's. And then she gets into the car, and then they drive off. Obviously, they were hiking, stealing, jacking Amazon orders. And not uncommon, people. This is going on everywhere. She didn't get the license plate. And one thing is, she's at home. She's not going to run out and look at their license, because you don't know what type of people these are.
Yeah.
She was upset about it, obviously, and we told neighbors and stuff, and we got in this thing called Nextdoor for our neighborhood. I think there's this community site called Nextdoor, and everybody in the nation can subscribe to it. It's like a community forum of people in your neighborhood. And she got in there, and then of course everybody's, did you get the license? You gotta get the license. No, I didn't get the license. Anyways, a week later, she's out walking about 4 blocks from her house around the same time on a Sunday, and what does she see? She sees the same car again. They're back for more.
Stupid.
This time, she gets the license plate, and she calls 911. So hopefully they were caught.
Yeah.
Now, the following week, in regards to Amazon, remember, we're all still in the Amazon story zone here. There's this hill by our house. It's a pretty steep grade hill, and this was like the first snowfall. And Amazon has their own little delivery vans. You can notice them because they have no windows in them. They're like panel vans. They're white, and the drivers typically wear a fluorescent green vest, so you know it's an Amazon driver. Even though they haven't got the graphics on their vans yet, I presume they will at some point. These vans here in Minneapolis are fairly new. They just started this year because they got rid of UPS as their contracted drivers. Now, my wife is walking her dog along on the sidewalk along this steep hill, and she sees this Amazon driver in the van trying to get up this hill in the snow. The van is spinning. The tires are spinning. It's a very steep upgrade. He rolls down the window and says, "Do you know where the all-wheel drive is on this?" And it's like, and she's like, What? He's like, "Yeah, well, I normally drive a Honda and it's all-wheel drive." And it's like, well, wait. Okay, you were obviously trained by Amazon or somebody at Amazon at some point to drive these vehicles, right, as an employee doing these delivery vehicles. And she's like, well, here, what you should really do is just back down and go around the block so you can go to wherever you're going at the top of the hill. And he's like, no, I can't do that. I don't know. And maybe I'm presuming that they follow a GPS map. I presume maybe they have a monitor that they have to go a specific route.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Obviously, you can't get up the hill. The van can't do it. But that's just Amazon.
It's hilarious that he would just ask a random pedestrian.
I know.
You know, like Mrs. Bill is going to go, "Oh, I happen to have the Haynes manual right here." Right. Pull that out of her back pocket or something. You know, that makes no sense.
I'm staring over the edge of going into a huge Amazon abyss of complaints about why I hate Amazon and why Amazon is bad. And a lot of my friends, when I go into that, they turn off because they've heard me talk about it too much, and they all love Amazon because of the convenience.
Yeah.
Hey, I use Amazon too.
Yeah, I think we all do.
And the thing, but in my defense, it's good to have competition, and when one company monopolizes it, it's not a good thing, because there's problems that go along with that you have to deal with, and I'm not going to, and I could get into the whole thing about why Amazon is bad, but it's like this little, I'm a little sugar ant, and there's a huge wave of the population that doesn't give a crap about what I'm saying about it. You know, and when I've done Amazon orders, I don't order from Amazon that often, and it's like everybody else, it's a convenience thing. It's great, hey, for Christmas shopping, get everything, blah blah blah. But my experience being that one guy in Minneapolis that orders from Amazon, I would say 30% of the time there's been problems with the orders. Poorly packaged, where it literally arrives where the carton is empty. There's like, they didn't even pack it right, and whatever was in there fell out, and that's okay. And the thing is, when you go to Amazon, you don't talk to anybody. You don't talk to the company owner that was selling that. You don't talk to the individual that packed that. And I don't know. I mean, I know there's some people out there that can relate. They've gone through those things, but most will be like, yeah, well, it's a great deal. I get free shipping and I get Amazon Prime for $100 a year. So you know what, Bill? It's like, yeah, I'm willing to deal with all that stuff. My only thing is that competition is good. It's good for business. It makes business owners raise the level of quality for everything. And what I see with Amazon beginning to be so huge is that in turn there's going to be a turnover of people working that don't care, and then that happens that you get the wrong thing or whatever. And in regards to like stuff getting stolen, your Amazon orders, I think what's going to probably happen down the road, could be years from now or not, is that there may be an option that companies start making
collection boxes if you want one. You can put it in front of your house, in your yard or whatever. And the Amazon guy, if you get a lot of stuff, the Amazon guy will probably put it in that box. I mean, Amazon might even create these things and sell them, and there'll be like a electronic code or whatever that the driver has access to put your stuff in there, so that your stuff can't get ripped off.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I would imagine it's going to happen. It's going to happen because there's urban areas that it's just too tempting, because you're talking about like electronic stuff, that people are ordering off of there, whether it even be like Xbox games, which are $60 or $70 a piece, or headphones that are $100 a piece, phone accessories, camera equipment. All this stuff from Amazon is placed right in front of your door for the pickings.
Hell, about a year ago, I had an issue with my son's new Fire tablet from Amazon. It was his only gift for Christmas. Somebody apparently followed along behind the USPS truck. When they delivered, they probably waited maybe a couple of minutes for the truck to get down the road a little ways, and apparently went and pulled it right out of the mailbox in broad daylight.
Yeah.
To their credit, Amazon gave me another one. They didn't have to. According to the GPS, the package was delivered at a certain time at this address. So it was here. It just wasn't here for very long. I have absolutely no patience for that. Freaking thieves.
It's so funny how Amazon is like we are living a science fiction movie. This idea of like you can just pull out your smartphone and you can literally just order whatever, food, tools, anything, filters for anything, right off your phone, and you can have it in some cases the same day. And as they hope, everyone will have that option to get the stuff the same day if they want it, because there will be a warehouse in every major city, and from every major city we'll go to smaller towns, or we'll go to suburbs and into smaller towns. It's just so weird that we won't be going to like traditional storefronts anymore.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a good thing, but is it really? I don't know. What scares me the most is that when something goes wrong, that you can't actually talk to the individual that made the mistake or the business owner. In most cases with this stuff, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy.
All right, I think that just about wraps it up. This What the Hell special is probably on like the maybe hour 4 runtime at this point. It's been a lot of fun since the beginning, and I look forward to years more of entertainment. So
absolutely, I can't wait to do the next episode. We're going to do a new format. We're going to condense things, and we hope to be a part of some type of podcast network. We've always done this on our own, but I think what we should do is we should expand and find a new audience. And if anybody out there listening has suggestions for a network we could join, it would be under like a technology category. Let me know, and we'll look into it. And we have no intentions of stop doing this, and we do need to get on a regular basis again of doing these. We've just been so busy, and our lives have changed so much since we first started.
Yeah.
But it's just so fun and therapeutic that we got to get it back into them again.
Yeah, definitely. And on behalf of Kyle and Cheeps, Bill and I thank all of you immensely for making the Modzu what it is. And if it wasn't for all of you actually wanting to be a part of this community, it wouldn't have worked. So we all thank you very much. We hope to be here for a great while yet. And hopefully I can finish Clunk.
Yes. And start new projects together.
Hell yeah. Like some that we're not going to talk about.
Not yet.
Not yet. E.E.L and Bill signing off. The Monzu official podcasts are a production of
MNPCTech.com. Voiding your warranty is our business.
in association with E.E.L Ambiense Industries.
That's because everyone's a dick.